Hey there, and welcome to Chubs Gone Wild, episode 473, recorded on December 19th, 2022. It is currently 47 degrees and cloudy outside the Chubs Gone Wild studios. In fact, we've had some fog advisory. Did you see any fog?
Yes.
Oh, I haven't looked out the window yet, so I don't know. Maybe there's some fog. I don't know.
Oh my God.
It currently, oh, what is it? Okay. Oh, by the way, it's Hanukkah. Happy Hanukkah.
Day two.
Yes. Uh-huh.
Well, day two at sunset.
That's true. Yeah. Have you had any latkes yet or
No, no, no. I tend not to eat um very Jewish on the holidays.
oh, okay. Well, that sucks. I've actually wanted to try. So our neighbor who's Jewish, they had a latke party, but sadly I was not invited. Um, because I would just go for the latkes actually.
Okay, look, you don't do Hanukkah. Hanukkah is not a food holiday for the Jews.
Okay, let's call them Jewish people, not the Jews, Mr. Trump.
Oh
Uh,
my God, it is a term. Okay, the fact is, it's not a
oh,
food
here we
holiday.
go. Here we go.
You want to go back to, I think it's September, and I can't think of the name of it, but that's their New Year's, which is more food
That is
oriented, and
that is that is
they have
true.
better stuff. You're eating matzah for Hanukkah, which is you pretty much have to put matzah in everything, and it's just a very dry cracker that sucks up all of the any moisture there is in any of the food is gone thanks to the matzah. But you have the 8 days of oil for the light,
Yes, yes.
and you
However, she had a latke party, so I wanted one.
make your own.
It
They're
wouldn't
hash
be
browns.
authentic.
They're hash browns with some flour in them. Look it up. It's easy.
Uh, you're already disturbing me. It's also 3 days till winter solstice. And don't think that you're going to come to my winter solstice food party. It's also 7 days until Christmas, 8 till Kwanzaa, 14 until 2023, and 29 days till MLK Day. Also, it is 317 days till Halloween. I wonder what I'm going to wear. Probably nothing because I never dress up. So, anyway.
Yeah, it's you don't need to dress up when you're hiding in your room.
Oh, shut up. I feel very attacked right now.
You are attacked, and I'm the one doing it. Okay,
Well, you
just in
have a lot
case
of
anybody wasn't
practice.
sure of it.
Yeah. Patreon offers folks a way to create reward to support creators and receive rewards not open to the general public, like My Life in Fragments podcast, books, videos, and more. And we want to thank our current patrons, Clint, Nephi Nick, Ginger Sausage from the Universe, Eric, Sean, Charles, Brothers Sinatus, Phoenix Dave, Kaisley, and Moose P. Please visit patreon.com/ Matt Burlingame if you'd like to find out how you can become a supporter of us for as little as $1 a month. We're so blessed. All right. Well, on this day in history, December 19th, 1843, Charles Dickens' classic story, A Christmas Carol, is published. Dickens was born in 1812. It's a long time ago now. And attended school in Portsmouth. His father, a clerk in the Navy Pay Office, was thrown into debtor's prison in 1824, and 12-year-old Charles was sent to work in a factory. The miserable treatment of children and the institution of the debtor's jail became topics of several of Dickens' novels. That's very.
Oliver Twist,
I
Oliver
hate that
Twist.
fucking story. Oh, I'm sorry.
Great Expectations, Great Expectations.
Christmas Carol is pretty much one of the only Dickens stories that I really care like. So
Oh,
I don't know. It's just a thing. But Oliver Twist annoys the piss out of me.
don't you
Anyway,
think he waited a little late to bring out the book though? I mean, seriously, this is London because he released it in I've seen the movie, so
uh,
figuring it was somewhat close to what they did. But I mean, obviously, if he brought the book out on what is today?
the 19th.
19th. So he brings out the book
Mhm.
6 days before Christmas. Wow. He gave himself a lot of time to sell books, didn't he?
Well, they didn't really self-publish back then, so I imagine he had to deal with the publisher.
Well, obviously.
But, there weren't a lot of books and stuff back then, so it probably sold like hotcakes. But I guess it didn't, from what I read on Word, it didn't really take off that much until, you know, uh a few years, every year it like got more and more. So, but anyway, today's affirmation, take a deep breath, please. The more life is allowed to love me, the more enjoyable everything in my world gets. Oh, that's so sweet. And it's got a picture of a little horsey playing in the snow.
Just a minute. Okay.
Well, life isn't allowed to love you, so that's why everything over there is so. Anyway, so let's see if there's any holidays that we accidentally celebrated today. It's opening. Trello is doing a new thing, so yay. Oh, not many things going on today. It's Holly Day. Did you celebrate Holly?
No.
Oh, okay. Look for an evergreen. Did you? Did you?
Oh,
Well, I guess our plastic trees are evergreen,
no,
so.
doesn't count.
Oh. It's National Emo Day. Did you cry today?
Oh, I thought that was like a bird.
Emo? No, that's an emu.
Oh, no, no, then no.
Yeah. Okay. Well, you probably make me cry, so you'll celebrate it somehow. Anyway, National Hard Candy Day.
Oh, it's going to be a hard candy Christmas.
Oh, I hate that song. Um, so hard candy. I love the look of hard candy. I like the idea of hard candy, but I still don't want it. I remember it from when I was a kid, and it really was just one big fucking clump. But it was cool when I was a kid. Anyway, also National Oatmeal Muffin Day. No, nothing. Okay. And it is the start of Hanukkah.
Well,
Well,
that I
yeah,
did
I mean it's
celebrate.
yeah, yeah. I
I,
I
I I sent you an email or a text that said Happy Hanukkah, so I had started.
well, that's nice. And I sent you one, and I sent our neighbors a card, and so yeah, that's really cool. La 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 la. Oh wait, dreidel dreidel dreidel, I made it out of clay. I love that song. Okay. So we did all that. Yeah, not many holidays today. Womp womp. Hey, let's talk about some birthdays. We wish happy birthday to Josh and Tay and Jackie and Michael. Oh, hey, that's weird. Actually, those are recent birthdays. I have no current birthdays today. Apparently, nobody that I know was born on the 19th. We do have some upcoming birthdays, though. Happy birthday to Davina, Francie, Richard, James, Kendall, Gus. Oh, that Gus. Yeah, yeah, we know him. We know him, podcast listener. Also, Justin Malin, one of our former actors, Michael, David, Stephen, and Matthew Retmund, who is he runs the Boy Culture website, and his big big Madonna. He wrote, I think he wrote the Encyclopedia of Madonna, actually. So very cool. Well, we did get a little something in our feed bag. Yeah. Sean wrote in and said, thanks for the mention. The ankle surgery was to have a bone fragment removed. Took about 8 months from the onset of the symptoms until actually getting the surgery. Thankfully, it's done now and getting better. That's cool. And he said also, The Ref is a seriously overlooked Christmas movie. Good choice, Tom. Interesting. Interesting. Let's see. And now we got some chub hugs. Yeah, chub hugs you want to send out, Tom?
Well, since this is the last chance before Christmas to send out chub hugs,
Mm-hmm.
of course, the people in Ukraine
Yes.
and those supporting people in Ukraine who are suffering a nice cold Christmas,
Mm.
um, you know, uh, chub hugs out to them. And then, the West or the East Coast is getting hit, slammed with a cold front. And it's over Christmas too. Our good friend Damien over Christmas will be his high will hover around 3 degrees and his low around -7. So get the pups inside. My God, let them pee in the house.
Oh, I know, right? That's actually glad you mentioned that. I want to send a chub hug out to Nephi. They are about to experience a huge freeze, and he was spending this weekend trying to prepare for it, including making sure that his animals were safe and sound and everything. So yeah, anybody going through the freeze and the snow and the craziness of the winter now, huge chub hugs out to you. Um, Also, interesting note here that I found out. So you know the song "The Carol of the Bells"?
Yeah,
Okay, so for our listeners that don't, it's the one that goes la 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 la. Um,
there are words to it.
I know, but I'm giving the general tune.
Okay.
So it turns out, and I found out, I love that song, especially when it's done right. It is actually a Ukrainian pagan song, which is bringing in the light of the new from the new year, after like winter solstice and stuff. So, anyway, and it was adapted, of course, to the Christians as they take over things. But anyway, I thought that was very interesting. So, what's your favorite? Well, I should probably do that. Wait a minute. Um, did we do? Yeah, no, we did that last time. Let me add this real quick here. Oh, by the way, Tom wants to talk to you about.
Oh, okay. Let's see. Okay, I better put on the glasses. Okay. Um, well, Survivor had a big finale this last week, and it was funny because you're watching it thinking, okay, is it going to be Chastity? I think it's Chastity, yes, or
Yeah,
Cassidy,
yeah.
or it's Owen, and all of a sudden, everybody voted for Graber. You know, the guy, the kind of you've. It felt like he was a floater, but when they were asking all the questions,
Mhm.
you realize that he was a floater, but not a floater. It looked like he was a floater, but he wasn't one.
Hmm.
And he explained it all, and everyone just went, "Wow!" Once he explained it, he was the winner.
Yeah.
And then he gave all the money to veterans.
Wow. Well, there you go.
Yeah.
Interesting.
White Lotus finished this last week. And prominent main character gets killed in a hysterically funny way.
Hmm.
Uh,
Yeah.
so so that was terrible but hilarious. And I swear to God, this is for rich people who want a reason not to go on vacation.
So Jennifer lived then.
No, she's the one that died.
Really?
Yeah. And
Oh
she tried
no.
jumping off a boat, And instead of going down to the at the back of the boat, there's a water level step on, so you can step onto other boats and stuff at
Uh-huh.
the back of the boat. But she doesn't do that. She tries to get off on the side of the boat where the other boat's tied to it that she wants to get in. And she, of course, is a fumbling fool
Uh-huh.
and falls and bams her head against the little boat that's down there, and then drowns.
But what is the show going to be without her? That
Well, maybe her ghost will come back for season three.
that would be nice. Poor thing.
Yeah. So let's see. We're
I'm
here.
sorry, I'm just not watching the show. It sounds horrible the way that you describe it.
Okay, so we're here is in or was in Sussex County, New Jersey. And you're thinking, well, New Jersey, it's got to be a pretty big town. It's not. And it's basically one of the people who took place in the actual um, event where gotten drag was a female police officer who was afraid to be out in because she's afraid of repercussions from the town or the other police officers. It's a
Well, I know now.
it's yeah, I know. And I'm always fearful for these people once they like one guy actually he was a preacher or whatever his particular religion calls him,
Yeah.
and he got fired. So
Wow.
yeah. Let's see, we're on Harry Potter. We just finished the Half-Blood Prince. So we just have
Oh
the
yeah.
final book, which is into films to
Right.
watch. That's where it with that one. Let's see. Scrooge and Marley. This was something one of our listeners suggested.
Oh yeah.
It's a 10-year-old movie. It came out in 2012. It it only played once to the people who made the movie. They had like a screening of it, and then it was shelved. And shelved because it's pretty terrible movie, but it's if you remember back in 20 years ago, 20 to 25 years ago, all the gay movies that were being made with $1.50,
Yeah.
all the scenes took place in established buildings. They were in people's houses, they were at people's workplace that they just kind of did probably guerrilla photography where they go in there, film the scene before they can get thrown out, that kind of stuff.
Right.
So this was quite a bit the same. Bruce Valanche was in it.
Sorry. Go ahead.
Bruce Valanche was in it.
Oh.
He played Fuzzywig, who was a gay bar owner who Scrooge and Marley made friends with, and then ultimately bought him out and sent him to the old folks home while they, made tons of money and gave nothing to anyone. So it's more of a contemporary view of Scrooge, and some of the set of their apartment is just awful, just awful. Um, and but the weird thing was that they have music in it. They do have the free music, the Christmas songs, Jingle Bells and Silent Night. Those are all free, but they actually have some original music that wasn't bad, but it would have been better had they had, let's say, singers and like musicians really perfecting the vocal. But otherwise, I mean, I watched the whole thing. It was okay. It was, for those gay movies from that time period with no budget, it
Mhm.
was okay. But it's on Tubi, so it's free for everyone. Enjoy.
Okay.
Um, on YouTube, I watched the Dean Martin Christmas special. This was from 1967 or 68, something like that. Dennis Weaver, Bob Hope. Who else was in that? Bob Newhart was in it.
Wait,
Um,
which special?
Tom DeLuise. This was the Dean Martin Christmas special,
Oh yes, I've seen that one.
and it's really they've updated the video of it, so it looks good for that time period.
Cool.
Yeah, so that one was actually kind of worth the see, even though it's uncomfortable at times because there's children in it. But
Okay.
uh, and then there's um, the Carpenters. They have a couple Christmas specials. They have their Christmas portraits, and then another one, and I can't remember what it's called, but they're basically terrible, terrible. I mean, the music's fine, when they're singing songs, but they're trying to do like a something that we would have, well, when we were doing theater, we did what Dean Martin was doing
Hmm.
and what Judy Garland was doing, where they were having variety shows where you'd have special guests that would come in, do a little scene, sing a few songs, blah blah blah. Well, the Carpenters, there's one where Richard's kind of depressed, so he really doesn't want to go to Karen's party, but he meets Harvey Korman, and Harvey Korman is, I think, supposed to be like a ghost of spirit of Christmas that helps me. I don't know, because I had to turn it off. It was so
Wait,
uncomfortable.
is this the one with Christy McNichol?
Oh, she's in both their Christmas specials.
Really? Because I watched that one year and it was nice. I mean, I didn't want to watch it again really, but it was nice. And Karen did a good acting job in it too.
Oh no, I'm not saying that their acting was particularly good or bad. It was
Yeah.
just, it's like she catches the band in the kitchen eating, and they do a song. I want to catch.
Oh yeah. And of course that's the irony of that.
Yeah. So then I did. I watched Kenny and Dolly's Christmas special,
Hmm.
which is by far one of the best of that era.
Hmm.
Well, actually, variety show wise, it's probably one of the best of the Christmas specials of all times. The
Yeah.
music is all good. Most of it's been, written again by, or it's been written by Dolly. Those that aren't, like Chestnuts Roasting on Open Fire and White Christmas. All the rest of the songs were written by her. She's so talented. Good show. That's on YouTube as well. So they're all for free on YouTube. And for those of us who saw the original Dolly and Kenny, it really brings back, like, wow, that's 40 years ago. Fuck.
Oh
Okay.
my gosh. Wow.
Let's see. Just give everyone an update. Amsterdam, which is Margot Robbie and Kristen Bale, that's on HBO Max now. It came out in, I think, October, didn't do really well. Biggest, failure of all times, bullshit that they always do. But it's on HBO Max now for free, if you have HBO Max, of course. Then there is Strange World. That is Disney's new movie that came out at Thanksgiving and was a big failure, and maybe the biggest failure of all times for Disney. Well, that'll be out on Disney Plus this Friday.
Oh yeah, that's the one that they made the big deal about, that it was an LGBTQ. It was like a gay main character, but they didn't advertise it that way. And then they said the whole thing failed because of a gay character.
Okay. Um, let's see, on Netflix, I watched Tom Papa's stand up. Very funny. Actually, it was really good. I saw Neil Brennan's, and that was it. I watched the whole thing, but it was exhausting.
Mm.
And kind of, he was airing out like trauma, and it's like, no, 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 no. This isn't funny enough for you to air it out. It's just, somebody's gonna work their own, horrible things that are happening in their lives into their comedy, do it better. And then I saw this Asian lady on HBO Max, and I can't pronounce her name, but you saw it.
Yes.
And I'll wait, and when you talk about it, and I'll talk
Okay.
about it. And
Cool.
then finally, I saw Black Adam, which I hated. It was so boring. I didn't care
Yes.
about any of the characters.
And did
Uh,
you understand? Did you even understand who the people that came in to stop him, who they were, or why they were there,
they
or
were
why
part
we
of.
care
They,
when they died?
I think that they were part of the Justice League, Middle East.
I
I don't know.
no idea.
Yeah, and so the characters were confusing. The main character doesn't care who he kills if it's for the right reason, and
Yeah.
yeah, it's just like real up film for me.
It had no freaking plot, and I didn't care about anyone in it.
No one hated them all.
Yep.
There's a show on HBO Max right now. By the way, Black Adam is on HBO Max right now.
Mm,
Another one that just came on is called Banshees of Inisherin, and this is with Colin Farrell and
mm,
Brendan Gleeson,
mm.
uh, you probably would remember if you saw in Bruges a few years ago. They were the same two stars. They really work well together, and here they really work well together too. But the basic storyline is that Brendan Gleeson is confronted by Colin Farrell on whether or not he wants to go to the bar with him for the day, because they live in this obscure Irish town on a secluded island. And so the only thing to do is go to the bar. So he goes, "No, I'm not going to the bar with you." And he goes, "Oh, why not? You got something else you're doing?" He goes, "No, I just don't like you anymore." So the whole movie is that Brendan Gleeson doesn't like Colin Farrell anymore, and it's driving Colin Farrell to, kill. So it's a
Okay.
weird, slow, disturbing little film. I mean, past the idea of, just dealing with the end of a friendship is one thing, but make it 2 hours long is another thing. So
Yeah.
um it's getting great reviews and critics love it everywhere. It's going to be up for best picture, whatever. It's a little too slow for me.
Mm.
And then finally I saw Avatar, The Way of Water.
Oh yeah.
uh, I will tell you that I got there at 2 o'clock, 15 minutes before the movie started,
Mm.
and I got out at just before 6 o'clock.
What?
Well, 15 minutes before the movie started, then we had at least a half hour of credits, I mean, previews.
Oh yeah.
Well, maybe 15, 20 minutes. I don't know. It was a few. And then the movie, which is 3 hours and 15 minutes long. So,
Jesus.
but it was good. It takes place 12 years later. Sully and his wife now have 4 children,
Mm.
and that what basically the bad guys are coming back to get him because he's causing all the problems over the last 12 years. So they've got a group of um, avatars coming in, to come, so basically to come in undercover, so they don't need the masks. They just need to come in and kill all the people that are stopping them from destroying the planet or the moon.
Oh,
So yeah, so it was, but it was good. The kids, I know you're thinking, oh, were they cute?
mm.
Well, they're avatars, so how cute can they be?
I wasn't thinking of anything about it except,
Uh,
protect the children.
well, it was good. Um,
Okay, well, if it's good, then I'll take your word for it. I mean,
and
I'll
the
watch it when it comes out,
Yeah,
but
it's in 3D at the theater, and it's really, really amazing 3D.
huh.
But then the original one was as well. I mean, Avatar is known as that because it has such amazing 3D, but it's still really as good on smaller screens too.
Mm,
But I would suggest everyone does see it at least once in the theater on a big screen, because it's one of those movies that's meant to be there. And I think that is it for me.
okay.
Yeah.
Well, the one that you mentioned, the stand up that was Atsuko Akosaka, and I'm
Yeah.
probably pronouncing that a little bit wrong, but and her stand up was called The Intruder. It's on HBO Max, and I don't know why on earth I ended up watching it. I guess it was just kind of there, and I went, I'm bored, but it was really good. I was really surprised. I've never heard of her before, and so it was funny. She's got a really different style. It's a very ADHD kind of style, but it definitely was worth the watch, and I would encourage anyone that has HBO Max, if you like stand-up stuff, go watch it. And I love the way that she brought it all the way around.
Well, I didn't give her that long of a chance to bring it all the way around because after about 10, 15 minutes, we were just like, let's watch somebody else. Let's watch some.
Oh, yeah. So I made it through the whole thing, and she got funnier. But it is one of those things I can understand that if you're used to a kind of a more fluid, regular routine stand up instead of somebody who just kind of bounces around a lot, uh, I can get why you wouldn't, necessarily connect for the whole thing. But yeah, no, she does a really good job, brings it all the way around. But yeah, she's definitely got a unique style to her delivery. So yeah, I get it if you didn't make it through. Um, then I did finish the Santa Clauses. It was a cute show. I mean, I wasn't like overly like, oh my God, I'm so happy they saved Christmas. But I was like, okay, that's good. It was nice. Yeah. And I hear they're renewed. Yeah. Did you want to talk about this at all?
Nude.
Renewed?
Oh, renewed. Yes, they got renewed for a second season,
And
and so I'm not sure why, but I guess maybe Tim Allen. I mean, obviously Tim Allen's got to groom his son to be the new Santa.
right, yeah.
You like
Which
the way I used groom?
uh yeah. Ugh. Anyway, but it was a cute show. And that I don't have any problems with it, but I mean, it was like a slightly better than one of the Hallmark movies. Although I'll tell you, Tim, what's his name, is becoming the king of Christmas movies, the way Christine Baranski is becoming the queen of Christmas movies. Um, but and then I did watch Willow finally, and I really enjoyed it for the most part. There was a couple characters that okay, first off, I thought that Alora Dannon was going to be the red-haired uh girl, the knight. Um, and I was expecting that. I was not expecting her to, and spoiler alert if you haven't watched it, uh I was not expecting her to be the ditzy blonde girl because that's so 2014 that it's got to be the oh, it's the blonde girl, and oh, she's just, and I'm like, oh really, does it have to be her? I wanted it to be like the kick-ass redhead, but no, no, it's got to be the pretty little blonde girl that we all have to protect. Anyway, but and I don't like the character, the princess character. um her character is just cliche. I like the fact that they made her a lesbian, and she's attracted to the
Let's
knight girl. I love that. That was a good. That's the only thing that's interesting
wait.
about her.
Check. Okay, go ahead.
What? Oh yeah, right.
Gay
But
character.
yeah, and although who where's the diverse characters?
Well, you got the guy with the long hair,
Oh yeah, that yeah,
and the one who was exercised. They're both foreign,
that foreign
foreign. You know,
foreign in the show. Yeah,
well,
the
well, they're
Middle Eastern.
from they're a person of color. How about
Yes.
that?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. There you go. But and by
Yeah,
the way, I really like the prince, and I think that he is far more interesting than the stupid son. She's all in love with the son and shit, and I'm like, the prince is like hella fucking more interesting. Anyway,
hella.
hella.
But I think that the um the black elf that was assistant to Tim Allen.
Oh my God. Oh, so by the way, listeners, in case you're wondering, we're jumping back to the Santa Clauses. That actor was so miscast. He was
Oh no, no, it's not
horrible.
miscast. He was misdirected. He was told to be.
Okay.
I mean, he was not acting in the same caliber as anybody else in
No,
the show.
no,
Not even the bad guy.
no. You're right. You had something that they were directing to appeal to both adults and kids, but being more of a a quality. And then you had him, which was supposed to be comic relief, but he was doing it for like 4-year-olds. And you're right. You're absolutely right. It was the direction of that character was so bad.
Because I'm sure the kid is a perfectly good actor.
Well, yeah, he's been in other things, and I
Yeah,
think that he's been successful, but that that just every time he opened his mouth, it just broke right out of the whole
yeah.
show.
It's yeah. I know exactly.
Yeah,
It just it it just ruined every scene he was
yeah,
in, pretty
it
much.
really did. So you're right, it was the direction. But as for Willow, I can't. I mean, I am enjoying it, but there were definitely like some like you've got really good dialogue for the most part, and then you've got characters like the princess that are like everything comes out of her fucking mouth is just cliche writing.
Well, it also sounds like writing that would be appropriate for kids to say in 2022.
Yeah.
I mean,
Oh,
all because I mean, my brother pointed it out
mhm.
right away. He said all the adults talk like they're from a Shakespearean
Yes.
festival. Hello, we're here to celebrate and the kids are going, "Oh, this is a bummer. Do we really have to go through with this? I really want to go back to my room and text." Well,
Yeah.
they don't say text, but you know what I mean.
Yeah, no, I totally get it. And you're right. You had said that before, and when I watched it, I absolutely got what you're saying. And I'm like, okay, maybe it's a choice because, it's supposed to separate the kids or more, different sensibility, but it was uh, I don't know, whatever. It's
Right.
fine. And then you and Sean, and I'm talking about our listener and patron Sean, was have been talking about the ref. So I'm like, okay, let's see if it's really a Christmas movie. I haven't watched it in years. So I watched it last night, thanks to you, by the way. And it's really good. I had forgotten just how, I guess maybe it was just watching it from a different sensibility a decade or so ago,
Right.
but I really liked it.
Yeah, it's no angels get their wings,
No,
there's not a lot of heartwarming anything, but it's just it's a total conflict movie.
yeah, and
Everything's conflicting in the movie.
yep,
The couple are conflicting. They're conflicting with their kids, with their in-laws, with the the burglar, with the Santa Claus next door. Everybody has major issues, and then you have these supporting characters like Christine Baranski and J.K. Simmons, who very earlier in their career are terrific, especially Christine Baranski, because she's
yes.
just got so many good lines. My two favorite are slipper shoe medium, and the other one was when he goes, "Get back or I'm going to shoot her." Shoot her!
Yeah,
I
I
dare
love
you!
that.
I dare you to! And it's Dennis Leary, who normally I would not say is the best actor in the world, really reacted to the just ugliness of this family.
Yeah, no, he
And
was perfect.
yeah, it's just really it's a funny movie. Oh, and don't forget their real psychiatrist is BD Wong at the
Yes,
beginning.
and I love the fact that they use his real name, his last name in it, Dr. Wong. But
Right.
yeah, no, the whole thing was just like I I was intending to like put it on and then do some work. I ended up just sitting and watching the whole thing. It was really good. So I might have to add that to my regular watch every year.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah,
okay.
it's good. Okay,
Yeah.
here's your
All right, my week.
thought.
So first off, you know that I've talked out before that we have an abundance of cats everywhere. outside. We've become the cat house because of the
Feeding them.
yeah. So anyway, so we have one that became very special and became the porch cat, and he became, we called him OG, which originally stand was for other ginger, but I kind of changed it to oh gee. Um, so he he got to the point where he was very loving. I'm sure that he was owned maybe an indoor outdoor cat. Something happened, or he was dumped in the neighborhood or something. I don't know. But he got to the point where he would get up on the rail and then he would just crawl into my arms and make me love on him. So my friend Heather, who I've talked about before, she fell in love with him and she took him home, and he has adjusted very well and is now a very happy indoor lap cat being loved on and found a home. So I miss him being, going out and sitting on the porch and seeing him and everything. But I was very glad that he got a home. So yay. That was part of my week. The other part is just that I've been still fighting off this stupid sinus thing. Everybody else that have had it, like 2 days and it was gone. For me, it lingered. So
Simon Pegg.
Simon Pegg, yes, yes. That's somebody that we were talking about before the show. Love him. So I did finish Mary. Maybe that should be their name together. Meghan and Harry, the short mini series or docu series on Netflix. So I've watched all 6 episodes. I There weren't any big horrible anythings really. The main take from it is that the press fucking really did go after her and like rake her over the coals. I mean, there's uh, all the stuff that I'm reading, even off the show and everything. It's very clear that the media just went after her, and I mean, it was really sick. And then the way that they dogged them and everything, and they finally kind of escaped and got away from that. Um, I do think that they kind of threw them under the bus when they didn't play ball. So uh, I didn't see anything that I thought was a fragrant, like, I mean, there were a couple things that were probably from their perspective, uh, but not like any like fabrications or lies or anything like that. And it really made me sad to, see that the things that the Charles and Will's and their people, did. But and I do believe that it happened. So anyway, hopefully they're out of it and will be away from all that bullshit and everything. And this will be the last that they have to really speak on it. So it was interesting, but not like, oh my God, there was none of that. And it was nice seeing Harry just fill up screen time. He's just a very handsome man. All right. Excuse me. I watched Call Me Cat, episode 9, season 3, called Chrismukkah, and it was their Hanukkah slash Christmas episode, and it was really fun. It was done well. I watched it like 4 times. Um, and yeah, it had some really good serious notes in it as well. They didn't have anything of Leslie Jordan. They didn't bring up his character or anything. They are going to, for anybody that's wondering, they're going to they're going to do an episode addressing all that after the new year. I think they wanted to take time to kind of craft it right. Now, see, I would love for them to be like, oh, he and his boyfriend ran off together, and then like throughout the rest of the season, they like maybe get postcards from different places or something. I think that would be really neat. But they're probably going to, just address the death, and they're going to bring in who is it?
Vicki Lawrence.
Thank you, as his mother and stuff like that. Who I don't know, it's kind of be like the Jane Curtin and uh, what's her name
Louise.
on yeah on the Connors, to where it's like they're only 6 years apart, but that's her mother. Um, anyway, well, however they do it, I don't know, but it was a really good episode. And this season, once they finally got past the baby shit, has gotten way better. I'm enjoying it a lot. Okay, the Waltons Homecoming. I don't think I talked about this one. I watched it a couple weeks ago. It is not the one that I watch every year with Crazy Lady in it. Um, it is the new one that was on Peacock. And let me tell you, I don't know whether it was direction. I don't know what the fuck it was, but this was like the interpretation, the 2022 interpretation, where everybody was just a lovely little family. And back then, and it made me really appreciate the original so much better, because this was like a steaming pile of poo. Uh, I mean, it was so like the original was so I was just like, oh my God, this is so over the top. And she's got like the mom's got like, bipolar and et cetera, et cetera. But man, it was so much more realistic of what a family was in the acting, where they were constantly talking all over each other and everything. And this one, it was like a bad stage play. um I just did not like it at all, at all. um so
It,
if you
it should
want it,
be burned.
well, I wouldn't go that far, but I'll tell you pretty close. And the mom in it was like, happy homemaker mom, and
Oh
I'm
yeah,
like,
it
oh,
was.
you are not a pioneer Christian woman at all, because they
See,
were,
I saw the Thanksgiving one and it was horrible.
yeah.
The acting, and first of all, what happened to they were supposed to look like the Weasleys.
Right, yeah.
They were that's the other thing. They were all redheaded children
Mm.
for a family. So not only were they poor, but they were gingers. So there was a whole issue there, and they just tossed that out the window too.
And
So
the other thing that I thought was kind of funny was they they really did the making sure that they had a multiracial cast. Now the original one had a black church in it, and I mean it was really poignant.
yeah.
uh in the original, it was really like it had all these messages and everything that were very real. And in this one, it was like every other character is a black person, which is totally fine. But for like that time period and everything else, it was just kind of like, I don't know about this, especially the way that so many people in that period were, and that place were so fucking racist too.
Well, it's because they're trying not to teach um critical race theory.
Uh, yeah, that's
Because it upsets kids if they think that their families might have been responsible for making black people uncomfortable during the time of oh, what did they call it? It's not slavery anymore. It's
oh
um
no, they didn't. What? Apartheid,
what
American apartheid.
well, no, they called it the GOP was calling it like um that the Africans moved
Oh
into
my God.
and got jobs on plantations. What are you talking about, slavery? And I was like, my head was exploding while I was listening to them try to justify what they were saying. It was disgusting.
They're, I can't even. I'm just gonna go on, because that will make my head explode if I try to unpack that shit.
Okay.
I watched the Christmas setup, which was actually a movie from last year, and I bought it and didn't watch it, so I watched it this year. It's with Fran Drescher playing the mom, setting up her son with another guy. who comes home from Christmas and everything, and yeah,
I mean,
it
isn't
was
that that's the other movie?
yeah, there were like two big gay movies last year, and this
It's
was
the same plot.
yeah, yeah,
Okay, okay, okay.
yeah. And it was really fun actually, and it was the first time that Fran Drescher played a mother where I believed that she was the mother. Uh, most of the time I'm like, she doesn't really work as a mom character, but in this one she did. She was perfect. And so it was really fun. It's called The Christmas Setup, and it's a very fun little gay movie. And it's like, this is what I would like in a gay Christmas movie. Just nice. Um, then I watched Shaun the Sheep, The Flight Before Christmas, which is on Netflix. It's like half an hour. It's very cute, very fun. I love Shaun the Sheep because it's very cheeky. It plays to adults as well as kids very well. um, so it's fun. I then watched Christmas with You, which is
Me?
yes, which has Freddie Prince Jr. as the male love interest. I was at first like, really? Are you sure he's not just playing the nice dad character? But no, and it worked. It was fine. It's basically the forensics person from Lucifer who in the later seasons who is like a really fun character. She plays a big pop star who's lost her way and then ends up through TikTok or whatever finding this girl, goes to surprise her, and then finds love with her father and gets back to basics. So it was a nice, fun little show. And
There's more.
what?
Nothing. Go ahead.
Oh yeah, there's some more here, girl. Hold, just have a vodka and calm down. I believe in Santa. So basically, the plot of this is this is on Netflix. It's a weird guy who's obsessed with Santa, meets a woman who hates Christmas but is forced to write about it for her newspaper, of course, because that's how it all works. And she's got a daughter and blah blah blah. There's no real plot. There's no big aha moment at the end. It was very hollow and lame, and not in a even fun Christmas movie way. It was just like somebody forgot your plot. Anyway, then I watched the Christmas Wedding Planner. I watched about three-fourths of it. I'd seen it before, and the characters, who the fuck cares? I mean, the characters were not likable at all. Um, Christmas with a Prince. Basically, it's a female doctor, and I say that only to, you know, she's a doctor, but to explain, you know. Anyway, the setup. And she's treating kids with cancer, and then she lands a spoiled prince who she met back in school, and they fall in love and go do things. The highlight of this was Charles Shaughnessy, who was in The Nanny with Fran Drescher, was in this, and he was kind of the highlight character. The rest of it was just, a nice little movie. Uh,
Wait, how old were these people? He's got to be in his 60s now.
Shaughnessy?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, they were early 30s.
He's dating somebody in their early
Oh
30s.
no, it's not him. He was playing the king, the father of the prince.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, yeah.
Not that there's anything wrong with dating someone younger than you.
Oh no, I mean I think he would have been a perfectly lovely leading man, but no, he was playing the Obstropulous king, so blah. But in the end, he became a nice king. So, Hometown Holiday, which is basically a big city lawyer falls for a small town girl who gave up show business for the simple country life, and then he thinks that she is just interested in him because he's an entertainment lawyer and wants to get famous. And so, several misunderstandings later, they get their shit together. But I was like, the guy that they chose for the lead, I was like, really? She's like so into him. Okay, well, whatever. Um, so yeah. Anyway, it's cute. I watched it on fast forward, basically. There's a movie called Free Reign, The 12 Days of Christmas. This is actually the second time I watched this. It's obviously for tweens. I watched it on fast speed while I did something else. It's horrible. Um, but if you have kids, it will appeal to the kids. It's got horses, so it's fun. And then finally, Christmas Full of Grace. I watched this last night. It's a Brazilian movie where an overly crazy lady pretends to be stuck in Brazil to spend Christmas with random families each year. And this time she spends it with a rich family who all hate each other, and it changes them forever, and they all find love. It's actually got some kind of almost like the ref type family arguments in it. So it was, I don't know, if you don't have anything else to watch, this might be fun to for you to watch, but if you got other stuff, watch it in July. All right. And so that was my week. Hey, make a holiday, make your holiday too much this year by using the code FMWildChub to take 20% off any purchase over at fatmarkerclothing.com. It might be a little bit too late to get your Christmas shopping done there, but you know, the new year's coming and they're gonna have some good stuff for the new year.
Well, I'm just wondering if they're going to have any exciting deals after Christmas. So that might be another thing to look for.
That's true. That's very,
I
very
know I always go on to Yankee Candle and purchase the day after Christmas, and everything is dirt cheap. So,
true.
so I don't know. I'm not sure that they do it or not, but if they do, make sure you put down, the FM Wild Chubs, and
Yes.
get that 20% off of even more.
Speaking of great deals, I bought on Voodoo. In fact, I should put on my wish list like, Voodoo gift cards because they have them now, thankfully. Um, I bought Bros for under $10 on a special, and I was very happy with that. So I want to watch that again soon too. Of course, I saw somebody else like online going, "Oh my God, it was so slow. I just couldn't watch it." I'm like, "Well,
What movie were they watching?
I don't know. I don't understand what the fuck. I mean, I don't get it. It is such a good, fun movie. There were a couple scenes that I was like, this should be shortened or kind of taken out, but to say the whole thing is slow,
Yeah, I love the scene with Deborah Messing,
oh, I
where
know.
where he's like, well, you know about this. What do I do about this? She goes, why does every gay man think I need to know their problems?
I am not Grace. So,
It
yeah,
was hilarious,
it
and I
was
thought,
it was fun.
yeah, it was good.
Okay, so here's the advice. This one is a little long. It comes from Dear Prudie, but
A little long.
I know, right? But I thought you might actually getting some fun out of this.
Mm.
Um, okay. I need advice on how to get my mind off of something that my boyfriend did before we were dating. My boyfriend, who is male and 24, and I am male and 22, have been dating for 5 months. He just recently told me he has sent nudes, pictures, and videos to over 100 people. This is in a span of a few years before we have been together, up to right before we started getting serious. He told me this less than a week ago, and it's something that I've not been able to stop thinking about. It is changing the way I view him and act toward him. I knew he'd sent nudes out in the past. I mean, right before we became official, he scrolled past a folder in his phone, and he had countless nude pictures and videos of other men. He deleted the folder, and I trust that he's not sending nudes anymore. But what bothers me the most is that one, so many people have seen that sensitive part of him. And two, if he sent it to that many people, odds are there's some content of him still online and still in the hands of many people. And three, these people still follow him on social media, know who I am from his posts, and know that we are together. I have never been one to openly send nudes to people, so I just don't understand why he would want to do that to so many, even when single. The other day, even I scrolled past a nude photo of someone I don't even know on Twitter, and it turns out that he's exchanged nudes with that person. That made it settle in for me about how many people I might or might not come in contact with who have seen him like that. I really want to continue this relationship. He makes me happy. He's patient and understanding with me, and I believe I can trust him. I want to continue the relationship, but I don't want to keep being miserable and keep thinking how many people he sent nudes to. You're a fucking idiot.
Oh, is that done?
Oh
Oh,
yeah, that's my you're an idiot, okay? Frankly, in our group set, there is only maybe one person that I have not seen, well, okay, two, because there's one that I don't want to, seen nudes of. It's modern life, it's gay life, it's app life. He's 22, so I forgive him a little bit, but seriously, this is like the dumbest thing. And frankly, if he's got a hot ass body, you should be glad that everybody's seen it because they're going to be jealous of you for getting it. I'm just saying.
well,
Move
I
on.
just I know personally I would never date anybody who had been seen by everybody naked, that we know.
Oh, whatever.
Because what an embarrassment that would be, knowing that all your friends have seen him naked, and seen him, you know, I mean, I don't know. I just can't even imagine how embarrassing that would be.
Really? Yeah. You
Yeah, there's
for those of you who don't have aren't watching the video right now, you should see the smirk on this guy's face. Woo!
yeah, I just you live in a different world. You obviously think this is the 1960s, and it's not.
Yeah,
Um,
no.
uh,
And
and
frankly, how many people in our circle uh have done porn and stuff before, or even amateur, or on
yeah,
OnlyFans or whatever? It's
the only persons I haven't seen naked are Brian.
and that was the one that I said I don't want to.
And then you've never seen me naked.
No, no, that was the other person I was talking about. The two people. Yeah.
Yes. Uh,
Although I've seen something that looks like you sitting on a turtle, but
yeah, that's true. And
uh,
the ball's too small.
right. But
But
yeah,
actually, it's awfully pretty big. The balls are pretty big on that thing too. It's kind of funny.
yeah. So anyway, I'm like, okay, seriously, that the only way that I can like not want to slap this guy is that he's 22 and he's probably been raised in, that sheltered family setting or something. Because
Well, you know what I think is really funny is that the fact that this person probably received a video and nudes from this boyfriend as when
yeah,
they started dating, and
right.
now they're surprised that they might have sent them to other people.
Right. Oh, and the whole, oh my God, he had a whole folder of nude people and then he deleted it just for me. Well, that goes into trash and you can recover it. Because if somebody was all like, oh my God, now that we're dating, I want you to delete all your porn and all your, it's like, no, that's not happening. Sorry. Anyway, well, let's see what Jer Prudy had to say. Um, Before you and your boyfriend got serious, he was a single adult who enjoyed sharing photos of his body with other adults. I can understand how relationships can bring up fears and insecurities for anyone, and I don't want to suggest the only possible response to your feelings is to berate yourself and get over it. But yes, strangers have seen your boyfriend's naked body, and you cannot wipe their memories just because you are dating him now. It is also unlikely true that some of these strangers do not know he has a boyfriend. Some of these strangers may go on to post pictures of their own nude bodies. None of these people in question are doing anything wrong or seeking to get in the middle of your relationship. If you need to get stricter boundaries for your own Twitter, Instagram use in order to keep yourself from spiraling, please do so. If you want to tell your boyfriend that sometimes you feel insecure and you need attention from him, please do so. But trying to resolve your own insecurities by attempting to clean wipe his sexual history will never work. It won't actually make you feel any safer, and it will only make him resent you. My fear here is that you believe your boyfriend has too many sexual options and as a result can't really want you, and that your best course of action is to try to make him feel guilty for having enjoyed sending nudes so that he's less likely to leave or cheat on you. If the thing that bothers you is that the most is that so many people have seen him naked, I'm curious what number of people that have seen him naked would have made you feel comfortable? What's the correct number of people he should have sent nudes to? And what's wrong with the number just above that? How is it changing you? Sorry. How is it changing the way you view and act toward him? And what are you hoping to get out of this new changed behavior? Talk to him about your fears, certainly, but you need to find a way to let go of your desire to control his past. Yeah, pretty much. Yep. Mm-hmm. Hell, if I had a boyfriend, I'd be sending nudes to him. No, no, I'm kidding. I wouldn't do that, but so all right.
Yeah, you would have sent them to me and Clint.
No, because Clint would already have them.
Oh, that's true.
Any guy that I date. Oh, well, no, that's not true because some
Yeah.
of them were chasers and they wouldn't touch him with a 10-foot penis. But yeah. Anyway, I don't know. I just go by the option that everybody's done everybody at this point or seen it or whatever. I'm not surprised by any of it.
Who cares?
Yeah, it's dating.
I'll tell you a good thing to do. Tell this guy to get his boyfriend to get a tattoo
Okay.
somewhere where you would see it again on a new picture of him. So
Oh,
so that way you can tell, oh, what's this nude picture of you? Well, that's not of me. That's your tattoo. And then you could do that. And
see,
then
that's
that would give him something to fret about for the next however many years they're together.
I was gonna say, yeah, because the whole thing is getting over it and not trying to control him. But that is an interesting idea. Anyway, all right. Hey, Chubs, what's your favorite Christmas carol?
Now, are you talking just any Christmas song?
Yeah.
Or are you talking traditional carols like, you know, you know, deck the halls and that kind of stuff?
Well, let's be dangerous and go with both.
Oh. Um, Probably of the old traditional ones, I do love "O Holy Night" a lot,
Mm-hmm.
just because it's got that great
I know.
ending, you know.
Yeah.
Um, and then and of course, if I remember right, that's what Mrs. Brady was singing on Christmas, wasn't that "O Holy Night"?
Hmm. Yeah, I think so.
Yes.
I haven't
Um,
watched that in a while.
but let's say less carol and more traditional songs. Um, God, that's really a tough one because I like a lot. But see, I like Silver Bells if you're watching Lemon Drop Kid, because that's where the movie it originated in was Silver Bells. And it's such a wonderful rendition of it that I really love that. And then so much of stuff that Robert Goulet did on one of his Christmas albums, things like um, uh, uh, He's Gonna Take Away Your Christmas. That's from a Broadway musical. Then there's the Hurry Home for Christmas.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and I love, Chestnuts Roasting on Open Fire, the Christmas song.
Mm.
Um, Judy Garland's
I'll be
what,
home for Christmas.
no. It's the uh, Have Yourself a Merry Little Christmas.
Ah, yeah.
because she's singing to her sister saying, well, you can't count on what next Christmas is going to be like, so you need to have a merry little Christmas now
Yeah.
and not worry about later.
That was a beautiful scene.
Yeah, but those are the kind of songs that so I don't know, it's that's really hard for me because I like them for in different ways that they've been done. But
Yeah.
I guess a Christmas song is probably my favorite.
Cool. I agree with you. Traditional "O Holy Night" is my favorite. It to me it's very much a almost a call to arms. It's a beautiful song, and man, if they can hit that note, they will just make me love them. There was a great um version of it. Let me see if I can very quickly, so I'm not boring the hell out of everybody. Find it and
On,
shut up. Don't
Eric
be
Cartman,
mean.
Eric Cartman on Mr.
Eric
Hank's.
Carmen. Yeah, right. No, it's actually by a guy named Jordan Hart. And it's Oh Holy Night. You can find it on YouTube if you look up Jordan Hart sound, and it is Hart, Hart. And it is a beautiful, it is, he's got an amazing voice and he hits that note so well. Just love it. And then more traditional, actually this year I am obsessed with Tom Goss's EP. He's got a Christmas EP out, and there's actually a song on there that I kind of inspired. Not to toot my own horn, but he was putting out a thing on Twitter when he was writing his Christmas EP and said, send me your puns. And I sent one that said you put the ass in Christmas, and he actually turned that into a song. And so the ass in Christmas is right now it's what I listen to it almost every day. But his EP for this year is phenomenal. He's got songs like Homo for the holidays and things like it's really, really good. Go check it out. Um, Tom Goss, and really great. All right. Hey Chubs, do you make Christmas crafts? Did you make Christmas crafts as a kid? And do you remember any of them?
Christmas
Can you remember that
crafts.
far back?
Crafts? What do you mean by crafts?
Well, like, when you were in school, like, I mean, I remember like putting paper chains together, which is
Sure.
really weird because it's very British, but I remember doing it as a
Yeah,
kid.
we did. Yeah, everyone made because that's how you decorated the room.
Yeah, yeah.
And I guess we also made like Christmas cards too, sometimes, maybe. I don't know.
I don't know if I really remember that, but I remember we did two things we did. One was we made like paper bags, like you got the little lunch paper bags, and then
Mhm.
you cut out things and glued it on and decorated it like a reindeer, so that it would be like a little talking reindeer when you put your hand in it. And mine blew out the window on the way home, and I was very upset. And the other thing was a wreath, but the way it was is you take a wire coat hanger, right? Tom's laughing hysterically right now. Yeah, that's very me, right? That it blew out the window.
Hey, I'm a dear. Ah!
I was very upset. I think my mom smacked me to shut me up. But so you take a wire coat hanger and you bend it out to the round shape of a wreath, and then you take plastic lunch bags, the see-through ones, and you put little like cut up green and red things in it, like construction paper, and then you tie the bags in a knot around the wreath, and then you just keep doing that until the whole thing is like this plastic wreath, and then it's like a waterproof plastic wreath. And I made a couple of those, and I really enjoyed it. Actually, it was very fun, but I don't have them anymore.
Yeah, I made something like that, but what we did was you took the coat hanger,
Uh,
no hangers ever, um, and then we would tie on with thread green and red candies, the Brock's candies.
Oh yeah.
And
Okay.
then you do that all the way around. So it'd be like hundreds of pieces of candy. And it was heavy as fuck. But when you finished, if you did it right, you could have like a lot of green ones with red ones scattered out. I remember my mom liked the butterscotch candies. So I made a whole wreath of just butterscotch. So it's just this butterscotch colored wreath with the little yellow papers on it. And then what you do is you'd hang a little um pair of scissors, like little kid scissors, so nothing that can cut themselves, but and then you cut the threads and pull out the can, and you could have candy that way.
Oh wow, that's a great idea.
What about that?
Huh.
Those were fun.
Yeah. Well, those are some cool ideas. Um, all right. Well, what's in your lunchbox? Mr. Moose wrote in and said, Friday, I wanted a cocktail. Made a bramble, Bombay raspberry gin, fresh squeezed lemon juice, simple syrup, and a splash of tonic. Made a double since I had to dirty up the shaker anyway. That sounds really neat. I mean, I'm not a big gin fan, but that sounds good. You don't like it? You know, not your thing?
No, the idea of gin, no.
Gin is a really
Gross taste.
well, I was gonna say acquired, but yeah, not my thing. But I know our friend Brian quite likes some gin here and there. I think he just does it so that he can be like the old, movies, drinking gin. Anyway, hey, Phoenix Dave wrote in and said, "Good morning and happy holidays, guys. For breakfast this morning, I had cheesy grits, scrambled eggs, and bacon. A good little breakfast for $3. Wow, you got that for $3? And I can usually make two meals out of it. Not me. I'm just work from home.
Whatever.
I'd eat it. Um, if I if I if I don't email you before Christmas, y'all have a very Merry Christmas. Love you lots. Well, thank you. And then he sent in a second photo and said, for lunch today, the cafeteria was serving shrimp and sausage etouffee. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right. Um, broccoli and cauliflower and a soft roll. Wow.
Well,
That,
the broccoli and the um cauliflower, um, they
they
do
look
look a little
they look a little
overdone.
sad.
A
Yeah.
little overdone, but I could go for a big helping of that sausage and shrimp over rice. That looks yummy.
That sausage really looks good. And that sauce looks really interesting. Now, the first one, I don't know. I think I've had really good grits once. And I think it was like Lurie Dean made grits and he put sausage and cheese and a couple other, things in it. And what he would do is I think he'd actually bake it and then you could just cut off slices of it whenever you wanted.
No, you cook it, then you chill it.
Well, whatever it was, he did it and it was very good. But and that bacon looks perfect too. Num num num. So very cool. Thank you so much, Phoenix Dave. And hey, Golden Rule Services want you to know about an important tool in preventing you from contracting HIV. PrEP is a medication proven to be 99% effective in preventing HIV infection. To learn more about PrEP, visit sacgrs.org. And with that, find Tom's other podcast at swannerandjudd.com. Find my books at justkisstheguy.com. And don't forget my new release. I forgot it. The Fortune Cookie is out on Amazon right now for only 99 cents. So go pick it up if you so desire. And you can find all our links you can find, all our links at allmylinks.com/Chubs Gone Wild. So you can find our Facebooks, our Twitters, and all that other fun stuff. Well, our Twitters for now. We'll see what happens in the future. And give us a call at
40869 Chubs.
that's
Ho ho ho.
And while Tom's other podcast will be taking the holidays off because they don't love you as much as we do, we will be.
We record on the holiday. It's no. I'm not even going to be home.
Oh, are you going to Sean's family? Oh, are they making a turkey?
I have no idea.
Uh, we decided to do Chinese this year.
Well, good for you.
I know it's very Hanukkah of us.
No,
Uh,
the scary Christmas story of you.
that yes, yes, but no duck. No, no duck.
Oh, why?
Uh,
It's so
that that's funny. You know what? I don't know if I've ever had duck. I
you
need to
know.
do that. Yeah, I hear it's a very distinct but nice taste.
Oh no, it's not that it's distinct. It's so good that when you
Oh,
eat it, you're like going, "Oh my God, this is something I can have all the time." Well,
mhm.
no, you can't because duck can be expensive. But yeah, um, what you really want to do is bake a duck or pan fry the breast, whatever you have, and then you want to take the oil, the fat that's been rendered off the breast, and
Uh,
then cook some potatoes, or well, potatoes are really good. Like put some potatoes in that and roast them in the oven in the fat. Oh my God. Oh my
mm,
God.
that sounds
So
really
so amazing. So amazing.
good. Yeah, I think I'm gonna go make some mashed potatoes now.
All right.
All right, we will catch you next week. Bye.
Bye.